Hi guys, and welcome to another walkthrough with the Rusty Blades YouTube Barber. So first things first, we're going to kick off, we're going to comb all the hair into position and ready to start the cut. So like I always do, and then I'm going to get the gamma boosted and we're going to put the number 2 on there because it wants a 2 short back and sides. So we're just going to set in the initial guideline, and then what we're going to do is once we've put the initial guideline in, we're going to get the clipper comb and we're going to do some clipper over comb, but I'll go into that as we get into that stage. As I always do, I go around the head, and just as I'm going up to where I want the guideline to be, I just do a slight flick out motion. That just gives it a softer finish, so it makes it a little bit easier to get that line out. I'd also like to mention as well that Mark does have salt and pepper hair as well, so it's always a challenge because it's generally a little bit darker towards the top, so it does look sometimes disconnected, but it isn't, it's just actually the colour of his hair. So now with the 2 guard, I've actually opened the lever all the way up and I'm just flicking away a line where there's a bit of weight there. Again, this just makes it a little bit easier to blend as we get further into the cut. We're going to put the 3 guard on now. We're going to open the lever to make it a 3.5, and where there's the weight line, we're just going to go into that, flick away at it, and this is just going to make it a lot easier when it comes to cutting the top, so it can connect into the sides a hell of a lot easier. So now we're going to move on to the clipper over comb. It's not something that I'm really comfortable with, but I am getting there, and the more that you do it, the easier it does get. So when I actually do the clipper over comb, I tend to open the lever halfway. With the Gamma StyleCraft products, they all come with the click levers, so it makes it a lot easier to find that position and to keep in the same position as well, just to make it a little bit more consistent when you're doing this. Working all the way around the head with the clipper over comb, I tend to angle the comb out at about a 45-degree angle to give it a nice soft finish and more of a graduated look, and again blends into the sides a little bit easier. So I'm now going to go on to the shear work, and I'm going to create a mohawk guideline down the middle of the head. This is what I normally do. This creates a stationary guideline, and then as you've picked the hair up from the front and travel back, you've got your guideline, and this creates a travelling guideline, and you just follow this to the left and the right side of the head, and it's so easy to follow, you can't really go wrong. You can kind of see on this view where the guideline is from the stationary guideline to the travelling guideline. Now we're just going to perform a little bit of shear over comb just to take any more of the weight out of this area. Now we're going to move on to tapering the neckline. Now there is a few different ways you can do this. The main one is normally setting in the bottom guideline, like starting a fade. But what I've done is, because I've done a number 2, I've gone in with a number 1.5, and basically I've done it as open as I can, and I'll just keep knocking down through the clicks and just working down into the neckline. So eventually I'll get down to a 0.5, and then maybe even just the open taper, just to give it a really good clean up. We're coming towards the end of the haircut now. We're just finishing off, and we're just going to give him a nice clean up with a nice clean edges. I'm using the Absolute Hitter from Gamma, and I'll also be using the StyleCraft Uno. The Hitter has got the X Pro blade on there. It's not the gold one. I am waiting for that to come. There will be a review. Keep watching out for that. If you are interested in any of the Gamma or the StyleCraft products, you can go down into the description, and there is links there. If you use code Rusty10, that'll get you a 10% discount. It helps you out, it helps me out, and it helps the channel grow. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you take something from it. If you have, remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss any videos and drops that are coming up, and I'll catch you in the next one.